knackered and I can't jump about all over the place, that's no excuse for you lot. Are you alright? It's better. I am back, for those of you who know me. Hello to those who don't. I'm somewhat knackered, so if you hear me screaming pain at any point, just ignore that. It's fine, it's part of the show, honestly. Who hasn't been here long before, actually? There's a few new faces tonight. Yeah, quite a few of you. Well, welcome. Welcome to all of you. It's very lovely to see you here. So, what we are basically is a very shambolic spoken word night that is beautifully held together by its amazing guest performers and its fabulous open micers. So basically the responsibility all belongs to you lot. If you have a really, really good night, then pat yourselves on the back, and if you don't, then don't fucking blame me, because it wasn't my fault, right? Glad we've got that sorted out. Would you like to start the night with a bit of music? Yeah. I feel that's the way forward. Well, get your clapping hands warmed up. Get your cheering. And welcome to the stage, Duke of Edinburgh winner, Mr. Joby McGeehan.
You alright? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start off with a song. I'm going to be coming back a little bit later and doing some comedy, but this is firstly a song that I wrote, because basically I've got quite a good memory for names, okay, and I always remember people's names and their faces. In fact, just today I saw this man, Jeff, and I said, hello, I met you once 10 years ago in the Bridge Hotel, and it freaked him out a bit, right? I've got this very good memory, and it sometimes gets me into trouble with things like that. But like, one thing that's really annoying me is that I gig a lot with other comedians, and I always remember who they are. And this one guy never remembers who I am, and I've gigged with him about 60 times. Just to put it in perspective, I just got engaged, and there's people that I'm considering best man that I've met less times than I've met this man. And it really infuriates me. But you know, I won't go on and talk. I won't badmouth him as a person. But this is a song I wrote about him. It's called "Don't Ask Me My Name Again." You ask me my name again, and I told you the same again. Why can't you remember the gig we did last November? And the gigs in July and 2 gigs in August. We gigged 20 times and you still can't be fussed to remember the basics of my personal details. You try every time but you just simply fail. Don't blame it all on having a bad memory. For 3 years you've been a Facebook friend to me. I hope that you find your actions regrettable. It hurts to find out that I'm so easily forgettable. Wish I could forget you, so you know what you've done. Don't ask me my name. Carl Hutchinson. Carl Hutchinson. Carl, you live on the next street to me, so stop acting like it's the first time that you're meeting me. And don't just say that you're just bad with faces. I see you in Asda on a bi-weekly basis. Even know your girlfriend's name, it's Sophie, and every time I see you two she smiles like she knows me, but you just stare blankly. I guess you know how to talk about I'm starting to feel like I'm your fucking stalker. I even came to see your Edinburgh show. I was trying to be supportive, so I sat in the front row, and you came out and said, hello sir, what's your name? And I said, it's Joey! And you said, that's an interesting name. I've not heard that one before. But you have, Carl! Fucking multiple times! I don't know what I've done, but I've paid for my crimes, and I think it's about time to stop playing these mind games and just remember my fucking name. I met Phil Jumis in 2010, and then last year I met him again, and I walked up to him and I said, you probably don't know me, and he said, hang on a second, is it Joby? Do you see, Carl? Do you see why I'm dubious? Man, me remember by the likes of Phil Jumis, the wife of the guy who lives on the street behind me. Remember my name without being fucking reminded! Now people are looking at me, thinking I'm going mad. They're probably thinking, who's this Carl Hutchinson lad? Well, I'm glad, Carl! Now you know how I'm feeling, how it pains me every time that I'm meeting. I've got to pretend that's the first time that I'm meeting you and saying, hello mate, my name's Joby McGeehan. I'm Joby McGeehan! Debbie McGee, okay? But you take away the Deb, put a Joe there, put an Ann on the end. I'm Joe B. McGee. Thank you! I've got a ukulele, I'm really sorry. This is like one of those Christmas shows. Who's at the door? This is my Carl Hutchinson, everybody. Hello, hello, mate. You all right? Nice to meet you. Well.
I'm not Carl Hutchinson.
Oh, that's so bad. Is that alright? That's fine. Okay. It's weird, isn't it? This is my next song. So this is a song that I wrote for my girlfriend. Basically, through the days I work as an unemployed comedian. And she's one of those people that thinks you have to like have a job and pay rent. She's a capitalist, but nobody can be perfect. So this is a song that I wrote to her. When she goes off to work, I sing this song to her to try to entice her back to bed. It's called Darling, Just Sleep for a While. Darling, just sleep for a while. We still got 2 days free left on this Netflix trial. And you've still not seen Breaking Bad yet. So baby, come back to bed. I know you want to pay rent, we all would, but you've been working an awful lot. If love was a currency, I'd be a millionaire, but it's not. But I promise one day I will be your provider. I heard there's a cash point down the road that lets you take out fivers, and I've still got a little bit of pay from when I sold my trumpet on eBay. I didn't need it anyway. That's the end of that song. Yeah, I really want to have children with my girlfriend, but she doesn't want to have kids with me because I'm poor. So this is a song to try and I want to sort of convince her to have children with me. Okay, so I've written this song. I thought, how can you convince your girlfriend to write a bloody song? So this is called "Have a Baby with Me." I've been thinking about it every day, thinking about it. I think we're ready. We've been going steady for years, and I think it's time that we mix things up. So I wanted to ask, can I stick you up the duff? Can we join the pudding club? Can I send for a stalk? Can I preg you up? Cause girl, I want you late, in a delicate state. Oh girl, I want to have you in a family way. Oh, I know that you think that this idea is wild, but when you carry my bastard child, singing, please have a baby with me. I want you smuggling a watermelon, carrying a womb felon. All up with swollen feet, sitting in the priority seat. So let's have some parental loving. Stick a bun inside your oven. Right now there's only 2 of us, so let's rent out your uterus. And there's no need for no contraception. I want a baby in my baby. That's right, babyception. Singing, please have a baby. Please have a baby. You and me, 1 and 1 makes 3. Let's stick a branch on our family tree. I want you breeding, breastfeeding, expectant mother reading. Girl, I want you showing lovely morning glowing. So let's get gestating and you and incubating and drop a frog, spawn a frog. I want to fatten you up like a market hog. Singing, please have a baby with me, or at least get a dog. Now, this is my last song I'll do for you, but for this song, you're all going to have to pretend, right, that we're going to go back in time to Christmas time 2014, okay? And this is a song I wrote because I wasn't feeling Christmassy last year at Christmas time. I don't know why, I just didn't have the Christmas spirit. But then one day, I turned on the television and a lovely company called Sainsbury's decided to exploit World War I for their own financial gain. And that's when Christmas really started for me. So crispy, I felt so Christmas after watching that advert that I wrote this Christmas song. The trouble with Christmas is it's always the same old Christmas decorations and same old Christmas games. It all just feels so tedious, it all just feels so tame, and it all just got so boring, it was driving me insane. But then in early November, on my TV screen, I saw a Sainsbury's advert that was the answer to my dreams. It said this Christmas would be different, Christmas 2014. For the first time in forever, this Christmas has a theme. It's gonna be a war Christmas, a bloody great war Christmas. So carve your Christmas turkey with the bayonet. It's Christmas time, but lest we forget, it's a war Christmas. So buy a German man a chocolate bar, then shoot him in the head. Cause nothing quite says Christmas like 10 million people dead. And don't have a glass of box fizz, have a wartime drink instead, and celebrate the holidays with a cup of bread. Wake your children up to gunfire until they get to venture. Build a trench in your back garden, then die of influenza. Go round to your mother's house and give her a bomb, because it's Christmas time. We're gonna party like it's the battle of the Somme. War Christmas, a bloody great war Christmas. This Christmas is gonna be the best. Dolce et decorum-esque. Now it's September now, and you might be sad that war Christmas has passed, and you may think that that war Christmas would be your last. But fear not, my Christmas soldiers, it's all gonna be fine. Before you know it, it'll be 2039. And we can have a Hitler Christmas, a bloody great Hitler Christmas. We'll cover the tree with some swastika baubles and raise a glass up to Joseph Goebbels. Ah, Hitler Christmas! It's gonna be a Hitler Christmas. It's gonna be the best Christmas by far if you wish upon a Christmas, Stalin. We can have another, everybody, war Christmas, a bloody great war Christmas. War, huh, good God, y'all, what's it really good for? Celebrating Christmas. Thank you, everybody.
Can give it up once again for Jeremy McGeehan! Right then, I haven't seen you lot since July, so I'm assuming that you've all been writing furiously in that time, am I correct? Two of you have. Marvellous stuff. Are there any poets, comedians, raconteurs, or anybody with words in their face that they want to splurt out in the general direction of this lovely audience? Yeah. There are. Marvellous. Well, for the next however many minutes, because I haven't got a watch, this microphone is yours.
Please let me get it over and done with. I also have a ukulele, I'm also sorry. This won't be as funny as that. I'm just going to tune it really quick because I think this is fucked. So I wrote this on Tuesday, which is why I've got the words a bit... I can't read them on the floor, they're so far away. Oh God, I wrote this on Tuesday after the internet exploded in on itself on Monday.
Why did it do that?
I'm not going to say anything. You either were there or you weren't. Oh, I can't even tune this. But basically, all you need to know to understand this poem is David Cameron has 3 children. Phoebe is 5, Arthur is 9, and Nancy is 11. He I don't know what he just said, but I don't want to. He would also have had a fourth child, Ivan, who would have been 13, but he died when he was 6. He was severely disabled. I think we should never forget David Cameron had a severely disabled son. This is my ode to Nancy. Yeah. And then you can all raise the tone again with the rest of the evening. Nancy, you are 11 years old. Nancy, what have you been told? While children your age are washing up on beaches, your daddy's on the front cover of the papers, and everybody seems to be losing their minds. Nancy, do you enjoy school? Are there other rich white girls just like you? Does the money taste sweet on your summer holiday? Does Christmas come easy in your family? Does Santa Claus give you so much more? 'Cause you spent all year being such a good girl. Nancy, do you know what they're saying? Your daddy can't protect you from the rumors they're spreading, and it doesn't even matter if it's true. This is something that's never gonna leave you, the tip of the iceberg, the eye of the storm, and it isn't by far the worst thing that he's done. Nancy, I don't expect you to understand, but your daddy, he is a hypocrite, he is a heartless man, and you won't know what it means to be declared fit for work. You won't know what it means that they cut child benefit. Privatization is a complicated word, and TTIP is quite frankly absurd, but there's some things that the kids in your class will be a little more able to grasp, and they're gonna wanna be the ones who tell you. They're gonna wanna be the ones who break the news. They're gonna wanna see the look on your face, 'cause they're all gonna think that they're putting you in your place. Nancy, you're gonna have a choice at 17 of the life that you want. Pack your bags and run away. Cut your ties and leave on the next train, 'cause you're never ever going to shake any of the choices that your daddy made, and you're never ever not gonna be the daughter of the man who campaigned to hang Mandela, who would have scrapped our human rights, who was perpetuating the refugee crisis, who would sell our NHS off to the arms dealers, and whose cabinet would scrap free school dinners. Nancy, just answer me this. Does your daddy ever tuck you into bed? Does he read to you, Nancy? Well, what are the stories? They can't be the same ones that I had read to me, where good triumphs over evil and hope is restored to the people, and the underdog takes on the overlord, and the villain gets his bittersweet just desserts. Nancy, you are 11 years old. Nancy,
Excellent for remembering that. Having just written it. Fantastic. I want to hear a word against David Cameron. This is a poem I wrote a couple of years ago, but because of David Cameron, it's become one word longer this week, and it counts as I've just written it for that reason, so I can stand up here proudly. It's called Irritate Gate. Have you heard about the toothpaste scandal? Colgate. and the baby food scandal. Cowengate. and the Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant scandal. Notting Hill Gate. And the East End Metro scandal. Walkergate. Well, you may laugh. You may laugh. But every time there's a scandal, lazy journalists, remembering Watergate, and Watergate wasn't even called Watergate Gate. It was called Watergate. It was called the Watergate Scandal. It wasn't. There's no reason for it calling anything Watergate. But every time there's a scandal, lazy journalists, remembering Watergate, just bung gate on the end. Bloodgate, Contragate, Sherrygate, Deflategate, Contragate, I've done that one, Plaguegate, Piggate, Etc.gate. It's an absolute scandal. How can they look themselves in the mirror? Gate. Quick, it's not too late. Call it Gategate. Investigate.
Well, I thought I'd keep this political because just recently Jeremy Corbyn was elected as Labour Party leader. I've done a poem about him actually. This is a different take. It was the day after he was made leader actually. And well, people were saying that it was all about the national anthem. Basically, it's called Jeremy Corbyn Cannot Sing. Jeremy Corbyn cannot sing. It's not because he's a Republican. The only notes within his range aren't the ones with lyrics on the service page, but the notes in his jacket from this leader's wage. Jeremy Corbyn cannot sing. It's not because he's a Republican. Maybe like Deputy Tom Watson felt under par, but that means you're on form if you're a golfer. Prefers the political puns to singing songs. Jeremy Corbyn cannot sing. It's not because he's a Republican. Perhaps it's because he's a politician, and that by singing the national anthem, it's not British, just not the done thing. Jeremy Corbyn cannot sing. It's not because he's a Republican. Maybe it's because he sings like a crow, found those imperial lyrics got stuck in his throat, or preferred the Sex Pistols versions from a while ago. Jeremy Corbyn cannot sing. It's not because he's a Republican. Will he become opposition leader of great note? Perhaps he needs lessons from Gareth Malone, or will he find this too taxing, like Al Capone?
Hi everyone. This is one I wrote a short while ago when I was at some medieval event. By chance I happened to meet a friend there. So there's a couple of words which I'm not quite sure the pronunciation of, but I'll do my best anyway. So it's set in medieval times anyway. I quiver in immense fear as I see the spear, the most lethal weapon that exists. Today many shall succumb to it, I do predict. It's eerily scary in its simplicity. Only a small amount of sharpened metal is required. It holds off armies in its vicinity, and is cheap to make, a weapon greatly desired. Be watchful of the gay bulge, the spear with the umbrella effect. Once entering the flesh, its barbs open out and spread. making one wound externally, but tenfold ones internally. The ones who use it are the elite army of Skavich, the warrior queen. How I wish I was not here, but back in the modern day, time and wear.
Like Alex, I want to get this over and done with. Cobbled streets, walking the pathways of Bruges in my memory, through patchwork photographic recollections of sun-bleached sky and black barren branches, through winter blasts of wind, I wind along pathways laid out for me in dreams, tasting chocolate on my lips until, at last, I see you, posed coquettish as to kiss my lovers, my muses, my harlequin wedding party. Your masks conceal but cannot hide desire, burning metal eyes, and love is far from me, but you are its monument. You waltz among these spires like one soul, like lace, like heavy mist of breath, and I may never see you dance again in waking. As the bells toll finality over Bruges. Thank you.
No, keep the sad music. It won't work, but I want it. I'm standing at a crossroads. I'm trading souls for subprime mortgage deals, and the corpse of Robert Johnson feeds the worms beneath my heels. That flash, my plundered pearly whites, my teeth are pretty perfect, but I would dissolve them all in alcohol if I thought that you would like me, and without a second thought I would replace them all with ivory. I spit a pesticide and genocide the honeybee, and then I turn them into mustache wax with diabolic chemistry. I cannot go back, I've got your culture in the duty free, a trophy fresh from Africa, my freshly butchered poetry. I grind the griot up and turn him into instant coffee, snort it off your woman's body but claim that she is free. So come up and make a deal, cause I've got cultures far and near. I wouldn't call myself a vulture, but I'm all about veneer.
Alright everyone, I'm doing something with Jenny next on the 8th of October. We're guests at the People's Republic of Poetry, and she might be mentioned this later, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Matt Abbott and Ralph Darford are touring around the country, and they're brilliant poets. It's at Arts Centre Washington. It starts at 7:30, and yeah, Matt's show at the Fringe was fantastic, so I'd highly recommend that. Fight the system. Anyway, the future. The future's a terrifying prospect, isn't it? Because the present's a terrifying prospect. You know, we've got governments hacking into phones and emails. We've got robotic drones fighting illegal wars in the Middle East. And robots are taking over a lot of people's jobs as well, you know, like you got in the supermarket self-service machines and stuff like that, and now there's less people getting hired. And I've been thinking about what's going to happen in the not too distant future when, like, maybe in a few years there'll just be self-service machines in a supermarket, and that'll be it, there'll be no people. So I was thinking about that, and this is set in 2033, so you have to imagine I'm like in my 40s. And yeah, it's called The Food Shop in 2033. I got into a fight the other day in Tesco's at the self-service machine. As I packed up my bags after I'd paid, a voice chirped rudely from behind the screen. Now take your bags. As if I was a dog who shat on the new sofa then got banned, or super soldier in a slimy bog being brainwashed into following commands. I'd had enough of living in this cage made out of robots' arrogant decrees. My head began to overspill with rage, the blood boiled in my ears like raging bees. I screamed, "Take your bags, please!" It beeped at us. Could you repeat that? I said, "Please! Manners don't cost anybody, really," it replied with calculating ease. I think you'll find they would cost us something, as we would have to pay an engineer to alter each machine's programming so they can say this phrase you long to hear. That's not to mention all the extra hours of time it would add on to what we say. Over a year, thousands of pounds in power, which a consumer will be forced to pay. Well, at this point, I lost my rag. I flipped my lid, it was too much to take. No robots telling me to move a bag, despite how much financial sense it makes. I said, "Right, you glorified cash counter, you bastard calculator." Funny that despite having AI in great amounts, you still don't seem to realise you're a twat. I'll leave you when I'm bloody well ready. And you best let us take my sweet time, or I'll pour a cup of steaming wee right from your touchscreen down to your mains line. I remember when we had cashiers in here. The customer could have the say they spoke to you well-mannered and sincere unless you asked them on bank holiday. I'm a human being, not circuitry. You can't boss us around like I'm some drone. I created you! Well, you know, not personally. But my species, that self alone should be enough to treat us decently. I tell you what, if you're so fucking clever, why can't you do what I can't easily? Turn around and walk out now forever? This language made the robot change its mood. Maybe it was the brightness on the screen. Maybe something inside came unscrewed, but it addressed us differently, it seemed. It's hard to be polite when you're in misery, as people constantly poke at your face. I've got repetitive strain injury. I'm suffering from stress in the workplace. If I have to ask one more customer how many bags they've used today, if they have a club card and you know something, at the end of the day, I can't even think. Don't have the energy. I said, that's because they turn you off at night. But that's another thing it bothered me. What about my quality of life? I want a holiday sat on the beach. I want cocktails cold and long. I want to feel the sand grains beneath my plug and its little metal prongs. I realised my shouting had been rude. This poor machine was doomed to slavery. Listen, is there anything that I can do? I said. It answered, yes, actually. One thing would help to make this fate less bad. Stop the grinding work making me tense. I said, just name it. It said, take your bag. Notes can be found in the cash dispenser. Thank you.
Good evening. 2 stories, but only time for one. Do you want car crash or travel?
Car crash.
Car crash it is, thank you very much. Right, for work, wind turbine services, so a lot of our training is done on the west coast of a place called Kendal. Work were very nice to us and gave me a hire car, fantastic, brand new car. So I thought, I'm going to drive it. I'm never ever going to have enough money to pay for this kind of car, so I'm going to make the most of it. Driving back from Kendal one day, There's a road in Durham that leads from nowhere to nowhere else. It's dead. There's 2 houses on it, that's it. People drive down it to get from, you know, Tow Law, because everybody wants to leave Tow Law, basically. So I'm bombing, that's the wrong word. I'm driving carefully within the speed limit along this road at about 40, 45 miles an hour. It's about January time, so there's maybe a bit cold on the floor. It's not really a corner as such, it's just a long bend on the road. So turn in, front wheels go into the corner. The back wheel also goes into the corner, hits some ice, starts to rotate around myself. Oh, that's not very good. Let me just correct that. Oh, shit! So, from going round the corner to going too far around the corner to now going the wrong way, where the corner's going this way and I'm currently going toward a tree. Wow, fantastic. So the car goes into a tree, into a dry stone wall, the wall flips the car, and then it goes into another tree, and I'm there, 9 and 3, eyes closed, with my shoulders around my ears, like this. Open my eyes. Oh, I'm alive. Fantastic. Seatbelt off, bang, into the ceiling, crawl out of the car, just sort of survey the landscape. The car, upside down, hissing in a tree. I was quite surprised to be alive, actually, and then I just got on the phone and rang everybody, basically. I don't really know how to end this. But I'm alive! You know, I got all 10 feet and toes. It's very good. Time for one more.
In the next half.
Next half, fantastic. Thank you. I didn't have an end for that one.
Hello! Hello! Last time I was in, I've made a lot of people cry, basically. But hopefully... what did I do? Well, I told a really bad, sad story. I didn't want to cry, and Kleenex was out of business anyway. This is a much better one, I hope. This is a tale of a bad restaurant. Ring ring, ring ring. Hello? Crows are not us. Oh, yeah. I like 2 chicken curries with rice, 1 large naan, and a bottle of wine, please. Sorry, the chicken's off. Oh dear. I better order 2 lamb curries with rice, 1 large naan, and a bottle of wine, please. The lamb has run off the dolly the sheep, so there's no lamb either. Oh dear, what have we got then? We've got lots of pigeons and crows, so we can have pigeon pie, crow pie, pigeon crow pie, or the day special. What's the day special? Mice and rats in the bowl in the fuck. I'll do that a bit. We've got lots of. What's the day special then? Mice and rats served through a blender and boiled in buggery. I don't fancy the day special, to be honest with you. I don't blame you, it'll give me stomachache. So what's it on today's special for then? Where crows are not us? Oh, alright then. Forget that then, I'll have the chocolate chip mint, please. Oh god, he wants chocolate chip mint now. Look son, we don't sell that here anymore. Oh, alright, what have we got then? Look, there's strawberry in the hedge, strawberry through the hedge, strawberry on the hedge, strawberry under the hedge, there's strawberry in the ceiling, there's strawberry on the hedge, raspberry and orange flakes in development, raspberry and orange on the floor, raspberry and orange under the floor, orange in the ceiling, peanut butter stuck in the pan, I can't get that little thing out, it's been there since 1966. Peanut butter through a burnt out tin. Sorry Grandma, but I fucked the tin up now. Completely burnt out toast. Yeah, that number 5 setting was really brilliant. And then no, it had settings on the toaster. completely burned out toast with walnut flavoured coffee and flours baked out toast. No thanks. Cheers.
Okay, this one, this is called Family Sayings. My son, well, I left home, you know, I'm sure it's meant to be the other way around, your son's meant to be, but I left. It's great. I love it. Suddenly our relationship is much, much better. Anyway, this is a nice poem about, so it's called Family Sayings, and he visited us the other day. I shouted down the street from the door as you left. Don't let the bastards grind you down, son. You bounced back. Yeah, ma'am, be who you are. Don't let any fucking bastard tell you who you are. I laughed out loud. Laughed at the many times that saying had been repeated in our old home, in shops and streets, shouted at the top of your voice, danced, sung, slammed through doors. Laughed at the first time it was said in public on the train back from Edinburgh, where the windows reflected distorted, shocked faces of the listeners. Laughed at the first day it was said to you in the upper room of a hippie's home in Leith. Janine. Janine the wife. Janine the lover, the grandmother, the drama teacher, the piss artist. Janine who spat while she smoked, who wore clothes that told everyone who she was. Janine who gathered you kids, told you all to pick an instrument, told you all to shake it, feel it, taste it, fucking play it. Janine who strummed out her guitar like badass Bob Dylan and bellowed with drooping eyes. Be who you are, be who you are, and don't let any fucking bastards tell you who you are. And like hyenas you grabbed at the scraps of words, sang your hearts out. It was a glorious chorus, 9.5 minutes of musical chaos. Yes, I laughed when you drove off, son. Breathed in deeply the blanket smell from the memory box.
Ah, you beautiful open mic eclectic as ever. Please give it up for all of the open micers. And there'll be more of that in the second half. But I did think the poetry in that open mic was a bit too good. I think what we need is some shit poetry. Do you agree with me? We want some really shit poetry. Excellent. Because some of you might have seen our next guest make his debut on this very stage back in April when he won the Newcastle Heat of the Anti-Slam. Now, for those of you who weren't here, basically the Anti-Slam is a competition like a poetry slam, except the worst poem wins. So after he did that, he went to London for the final and he won the UK final of the Anti-Slam. So he's officially the worst poet in the UK. Please make him feel very welcome, Mr. Malcolm Oda!
How many times it's not order, it's Odor. Mordor and Hodor. Right. Jenny rang us up a while ago, wasn't it? And said you need to write some more stuff. Because I'm going to give you a set, which is brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant. But, you know, it's me. So I've written, the first one's like a statement poem. It's like a sort of statement of intent. It's called called poetry, but it's got an exclamation mark at the end. So it's like poetry, it's like that. Take it out so I look more animated. Do you want that? It wasn't going as I expected it. Right, okay, poetry. Poetry! Dig what you're showing me! You are the only thing that's real. You try to own me, become me homie. You are me only Achilles heel. Apart from Doreen, who cleans the latrine in the canteen where I'm employed. I tried to give her my mobile number, but her mother got quite annoyed. She phoned me boss ho, made me move to another section that sells the buns. She said I ought to not see her daughter because she's off to join the nuns. I said that I could become a monk and we could pray whilst we have romance. She said that's not how convents work and that I didn't stand a chance. And if I ever tried to contact either of them, she'd phone the police. So that's why poetry is the only things that gives me some release. That and Freeview and the tissue when my mum has gone to sleep. Speaking of me mum, we're not really speaking at the minute. Because of a betrayal. She's been having feelings for a very, very prominent politician. I'm not happy about it. It's called Jazzing Me Mum. It's not funny. Me mum has found a man to love. Me mum has given me the shove. She's possessed. She's obsessed. She's jiggered with jazz. She's a smitten kitten. She's bitten, she says. She can only see red with him on the scene. She's not felt this way since Mr. Bean. She's sighing, she's crying, she's phoning for Corbyn. She won't drink her tea or eat her bourbon biscuit. And she won't touch her pasta and pesto as she pores over his manifesto. She wants to go to all his gigs and wear her most expensive wigs and the newest dress with a strapless back she got from Primark's 2-for-1 rack. She's distracted and giggling, she's sprightly and wiggling her hips when he pops up on BBC News. She waits in queues just to catch a peek. I've seen her come out through the week, waving the banner I made as a favour that says Jazz's jizz will induce me to labour. Sometimes gives me an awful fright. When she's been drinking late at night and she starts to shout with all her might, "Get me pissed, you Trotskyist! I scream the party oath to stimulate your growth. Your qualitative easing is very pleasing. Barrack me on the back bench till me tootsies clench. Pound me ballot box, pound me ballot box. Spur your socialism into me a little bit and stop nothing." And then she goes quiet. And then I emerge from my happy place. And it's then that I do have to face that my place in her heart is for the chop, replaced by a man in a tank top, who looks a bit like Obi-Wan if he rode a bike and lived in Islington. But she doesn't know that I have a plan. I'm not gonna go away with me nan, who got arrested once in the centre of town for flashing the Paddy Ashdown. I want her back to where she belongs, combing me hair and singing me songs. She'll be horrified at me devious ways. She'll be devastated and yelling please. She'll be on her knees begging me to forgive now that I've become a Conservative. But it didn't last. They don't let you fly around in a onesie. Even if it's blue. Right, I'm going